This is my 2024 Ford Raptor R. In February 2021, I put down a deposit to order a Ford Raptor R, and here we are, a little over 3 years later. I finally took delivery of my brand new 2024 Ford Raptor R. If you don't know anything about this truck, it has a supercharged V8 engine. I bought it back east. I flew out, I drove it home about 1,300 miles, went through a lot of gas. This is my third Raptor that I own. I had a 2018 Gen 2, I still have a 2022 Gen 3, and now the 2024 Ford Raptor R. If you're new here, my name is Nate. I run the Instagram account Raptors of Insta. I post YouTube very seldomly, but I enjoy doing videos to show people about my trucks and my cars. Let's go into my story archive here. I took delivery of the truck and I posted a poll asking people what they wanted to see. Got a long list of things that people want to see or know about the Raptor R. We're not going to get through all of them, obviously, but I want to cover a few of them right now. One question that I got a lot: what's the miles per gallon? This guy says I'm only getting 13 on my long travel Gen 2. Over the last 1,500 miles, I've averaged 10.8 miles per gallon. Right now, I just filled up and it was at 400 miles to empty on a full 36-gallon tank. Obviously, this truck is not purchased for gas mileage, but I know a lot of people daily drive these. So if you're curious about the gas mileage, I'm getting 10.8 miles per gallon, but I'm also not taking it easy. I'm not trying to get good gas mileage. I'm just trying to have some fun. This right here, definitely a top question from a lot of people. They want to rev it or they want to hear some noises of me doing a pull. So here we go. Well, we just laid down some new lines on the road from the Ford Raptor R. These tires aren't going to last long. Let's see how long this skid mark lasted. Oh, they go way out there. That was awesome. I've had a few people ask the same question: can you do some pulls so we can hear the supercharger? I'll drive around for a bit, I'll record driving. It's very noticeable to hear in person, obviously. I have a microphone mounted here on my camera. We'll do what we can to get some supercharger noise as we're driving around. This car is so smooth over anything. I don't feel anything. All my gas. One question that a lot of people asked: is this car worth it over a V6? Do you notice any more power? The answer is absolutely yes. With twin turbos, you get a little bit of lag. The V6, the Gen 3, the Gen 2, I've told other people this, they're not slow trucks by any means. Those trucks are fast. You can goose tune them, get a lot more power from them. They're a lot of fun to drive. This supercharged V8 is on a totally different level. It's much more responsive, much quicker. It feels like it pulls much harder. It obviously has a much faster 0 to 60, a lot more power. The R package is about a $31,000 package, and I think Ford did a really good job at making enough changes to be able to justify paying more for the supercharged V8 engine. I've been really impressed with it so far. Lots of power, really smooth, lots of fun to drive. So if you're thinking of upgrading and you can afford it, I think it's definitely worth it. Another question while we're sitting here: a few people asked about the heads-up display, and this is a really cool feature. So while I was driving home 1,200 miles, 1,300 miles, this came in handy, and I don't know how well the camera is going to capture it here, but you can see up ahead, right on the window right here, you've got my speed, 0 miles per hour, you have the temperature over here, the current speed limit, and then the current time. As you are driving, there are different features that pop up here. For example, if you are using your adaptive cruise control and you're setting a distance between cars, that will pop up on the heads-up display. It'll show you two little vehicles and how far apart you are. It'll show you your hands-free driving or your lane assist. So if you have lane assist turned on, it's gonna show up here on your heads-up display. It'll also show your blind spot sensors. So if you're driving and there's a car in your blind spot, if you turn on your right blinker, which you can see there, or your left blinker, and there's a car in your blind spot, it'll pull up a little orange line right here and show you your blind spot, which is pretty cool. Lots of nice features on heads-up display. This is my first car that I've had with heads-up display, and I think it's really cool. At first I thought it would get in the way. Really, it's just helpful to be able to keep your eyes on the road and be able to glance down and see your speed and everything else, which is a really cool feature. All right, we're gonna start here on the outside of my new Raptor R. We're gonna show you a few things that have changed since my 2022 Gen 3 and just some of the things that I've noticed. First up, the headlights. These are a very controversial change. Online, a lot of people are complaining about the headlights. Personally, I think it's a really cool look. I like that Ford is changing some things year over year because it gives it a new look and you're able to differentiate it from other models. I'll admit I didn't love these headlight designs when Ford first came out with them, but I think that they are growing on me. I think they're a really cool design and it's a nice touch. Moving along is the modular bumper. On the Ford Raptor R and on the 2024 37 Performance package, Ford did this modular bumper so that you can add winches, change lights. These spots on the side are removable. They still come with two rigid fog lights up front. One thing that is nice about the Raptor R, it comes with these massive code orange forged tow hooks, which give it a really aggressive look up here on the front end, and I really like that touch, and I like how it ties in with the code orange Raptor R here. Obviously that is only on this model. Another thing that Ford changed, they've got some texture now to the Ford emblem here. Before, on previous models, this was just flat, and on the 2023 Raptor R, this was painted gloss black. This is another move that some people aren't happy with, but again, it's a cool touch. You know, making some changes to make the new model years look newer. And then again, up on the outside here, normal Raptors say Raptor. This one has the R painted in code orange on both sides. But other than that, the exterior on the front is pretty similar to previous models. We've got the same size fenders, the same marker lights here on the side, same vents. The hood scoop here is a little bit bigger on the R to make room for the supercharger. Other than that, pretty much the same front end. Moving along down the side, from a side view, excluding the headlight and tail light, the side view looks pretty much the same as the previous generation Ford Raptor and Raptor R. But one thing I did want to point out are these wheels. Now, I'm usually not a fan of stock wheels, but on this truck, these wheels are actually really cool for a stock wheel. These have a removable outer ring. They're a beadlock capable wheel. I do think these would be a pain to clean, but good job Ford for designing a wheel. Again, these are specific to the 24 Raptor R. Moving along to the suspension, this does still have a linked rear end, but one thing that is new this year on the R and on the 37 Performance package is the dual live valve. So you've got the rebound and compression. I've noticed that the ride is incredibly smooth. I don't know if it's just because my truck is new or if because it's the dual live valve, but incredibly smooth and good move on Ford's part. I'm excited to get this in the dirt and see how that performs off-road. Moving on to the back here, one of the only changes other than the Ford lettering like the front, one of the only other changes are these tail lights, which, like the headlights, there's been a lot of people complaining about them, saying that they're ugly or they hate them. I think they're super cool, especially at night. You've got this stripe and this stripe that lights up, gives it a really cool look. Again, they're small changes that Ford made to make the truck look new and upgraded, and I think they did a really good job. One thing that I forgot to mention, I do have the whole truck wrapped in satin PPF film. So I got this truck and I took it straight to Lux Automotive in Salt Lake to do satin PPF all around, ceramic tint on the windows, the front windshield. I'm gonna do a whole nother video talking about that, why I do it, why I love it. This is the Avalanche Gray color. It just looks different because it's got a satin PPF film on it to protect the paint. All right, moving along now from the exterior to the interior of the Ford Raptor R. Now, this is where I think Ford really stepped up their game and improved over my 2022 Gen 3. I love some of the changes in here, and let's go over them real quick. So, starting here on the door, and I apologize for the lighting, doing the best I can. It's a really sunny day. We've got some nice Alcantara liner here and some leather, and then code orange stitching. You'll find this throughout a lot of the car on the Raptor R. You've got the carbon fiber interior package. So you have carbon fiber here along the dash, the steering wheel. So a lot of carbon fiber. You have B&O sound. It's got a really nice sound system. You've obviously got some special Raptor R tags here on the seat, here on the center console, the passenger seat. And then right here, you've got a little Easter egg of a V8. I think this is a really cool touch that Ford did because it's just under the perforation here, which is really cool. Recaro seats. This is the first truck I've had with the Recaro race seat. I was worried they would be stiff and wouldn't like them, but they're actually very comfortable. For the whole ride home from after picking it up, usually my back hurts on road trips, and we drove for about 18 hours, give or take, and I've never been so comfortable in a seat. Then moving along here, we've got the steering wheel. One of the saddest changes, Ford took away the code orange stripe on the steering wheel, which I think is iconic for the Raptor R. Now they just have a textured black here. For the R package, you obviously have a red R here. You've got some carbon fiber surrounding this. All your buttons and functions here are the same, but I do like that Ford finally made this a black emblem. It used to be blue on the other Raptors, and I like that this is black. I believe the screen is the same size. You've got a really cool startup sequence here. A lot of the same functions and buttons here. You've got heated steering wheel, heated and cooled seats. You have dual temperature control. This is how you change your drive modes. I'm not trying to make this like a full in-depth interior review, so if there's anything you want to see, let me know. I'm just pointing out some of the stuff that I like. Got carbon fiber here and here. This little cubby I've never even opened on my other truck, but it's there if you need it. You got Recaro race seats again. I like that from certain angles, the Recaro seats look black, but underneath they have the code orange fabric. And so from certain angles, they look kind of a blue-orange color. And from others, they look like a solid black, which is cool. You got the same functionality here, like you do on other Fords. You can open up center console here. And then this opens up for lots of extra storage space. Bigger water bottle holders here. This water bottle is a little bit on the bigger side, doesn't fit in these, so I like that Ford made these a little bit bigger, so if you have bigger water bottles, they can fit just fine. Then moving on to the back here, you've got the same seats here in the back, got Raptor R badging on both of the rear seats. You've still got cup holders here. You've got the code orange stitching, which is continuing the theme throughout. You've got 2 heated rear seats, some power outlets, and plenty of room back here. Now, one thing that I hate that Ford changed from the Gen 2 afterwards, under the seat, they've got this big plastic box. On my Gen 2 Raptor, this rubber would extend all the way to here. It was totally flat, totally level. We could store stuff back here. My dog had an easy time standing here. Ford made this silly plastic box that sits back here to hold tools or groceries or whatnot. I'm not a huge fan of it. Well, there you have it, my first review of the 2024 Ford Raptor R. I absolutely love this truck. I think it's worth every bit of what Ford is asking. I was lucky enough to be able to get this truck at MSRP. I found a good, honest dealer to work with. They stuck to their word 3 years later and sold at MSRP. Would I pay a little bit over for this truck? Yes. Would I pay the prices that people are asking now? No. There's a lot going for 50, 60, 70,000 over MSRP, and I think that is ridiculous. I think Ford needs to somehow crack down on those dealers that are being extra greedy. Love this truck. Huge step up from my V6, from my Gen 3. More videos to come on this truck. Let me know what kind of content you want to see on the Raptor R. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss future videos, and we'll see you in the next one.